Tourism Minister discusses over-tourism in Bali and rogue taxi driver apprehended. Stay tuned for details. Welcome to the latest news from Bali and Indonesia. This is January 6th, 2024. And my name is Bruce. Selamat siang and Happy New Year. It's been a while since I posted a video, and I've been busy with family over the holidays. Well, I had kids and grandkids coming in and out of the house constantly for the last 3 weeks. And, well, another one showed up today. So I've been doing family stuff. Some interesting things have been happening since the last video, and I'm just going to do the most recent ones. If you've been following the news recently, you know that there was a fiasco on the 29th of December with tourists having to walk to the airport, some tourists carrying their baggage with them because of traffic jams, and we'll get to that in a second. But what is the weather like today? Wow, it is overcast here and hot, 33 degrees Celsius. The humidity, 69%. Wind speed is 0.1 kilometers per hour. It is dead air. It is muggy and hot. Wow. And rain up here in Kubutambahan, a couple of very short showers, and we still haven't gotten any rain really. And here we are in the first week of January, and no rain. Boy, this is really, really unusual. Okay, let's get into the first story. Sandiaga calls over-tourism in Bali due to accumulation of tourists in South Bali. Pretty self-evident. The Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy has responded regarding Bali being a tourist destination for over-tourism in 2023, as well as severe traffic jams on the Bali Mandara toll road to the airport. According to the minister, this happened because they were unable to manage tourists, so they piled up in southern Bali. He said because what happens in Bali is not the number of tourists entering, but the arrangements. Why is everything piling up in South Bali? Well, he said the acting governor and the head of tourism have been promoting tourism in North Bali, West Bali, East Bali, and encouraging more investment outside of South Bali in order to distribute the number of tourists, but that does not seem to be happening. As is known, the horror traffic jam that occurred on Friday, the 29th of December, forced passengers, including foreign tourists, to get out of their cars and walk to the airport, and those videos went viral. Pak Sandiaga explained that based on information from the airport authorities, there was no significant increase in passengers. However, traffic jams was caused by activity of private cars moving around the airport. The minister said, over-tourism is our concern. Actually, the number of tourists compared to 2019 is still below about 30%. He said that currently Bali is designing the construction of the LRT as public transportation and encouraging the use of sea transportation as well. The goal for Bali is to be able to maintain it well when there's an increase in tourists in 2024. He said we'll be coordinating with the Ministry of Transportation. And he said when the tourist tax of $150,000 is implemented, and that's going to happen on February 14th, just the day of the election for our new president, he said all parties then have to ensure that Bali tourism is green tourism and is not overcrowded, not over-tourism. According to him, tourist visits to other destinations in Indonesia during the Christmas holidays were well under control. So he doesn't want any tourism, but he wants more tourists to come. And this has been pushed and pushed and pushed more and more. Domestic, international. But we don't want to be over-tourist. Over-tourist? Over-touristy. We don't want over-tourism. According to the head of Bali Provincial Tourism Office, Pak Pemayan, he said from January to December, there were 5,328,238 foreign tourists and 9,877,911 domestic tourists. Wow, that's a lot of people. He said at the end of the year, the number of tourists were beyond our expectations, very extraordinary. He said the traffic jam yesterday he talked about this a few days ago. He said, was certainly a lesson for us. And so we hope next year nothing like this will happen again. Yeah, let's hope. Pagpamayan said that during the visit of the Minister of Transportation in Bali some time ago, traffic jams had occurred in several souvenir centers which had limited parking capacity, and then people parked on the roadway, and of course it caused traffic jams. And how long has this been going on? As long as I've been here, although certainly not at this scale. And well, more and more people have cars. There's more and more drivers. There's taxi drivers and private drivers. There's just a lot of vehicles on the road and motorcycles. And I talked about in another video that there's actually more vehicles on the island now than there are residents. Just too many for the condition of the roads in Bali. Pak Pamayun said, in 2024, we hope that foreign tourists in Bali will not only increase in the numbers, yes, let's keep bringing in more and more, but in terms of expected quality, namely the quality of the length of stay will be longer, and then they'll spend more money. And of course, it's carrying out culture-based tourism and not going outside the box. So for your information, Bali is one of the tourist destinations in the world that experiences tourist density or over-tourism during this last year, according to the World Travel and Tourism Council. Apart from Bali, other tourist destinations in the world that are on this list: Amsterdam, Athens, and Barcelona. And I read that in Amsterdam, they're targeting one specific group of people. I think it's young British guys, and saying, if you want to come here and get drunk and act rowdy, don't come here. And other places are putting tourist taxes on as well, or reducing the number, limited the number of people allowed to come in to certain areas at any one time. And I think that's happening in Venice, if I remember right. So how is Bali going to deal with this if we do keep getting more and more tourists in here? How long will it take to build the LRT? And will the LRT actually help alleviate these monster traffic jams? And there's this new road or street that's supposed to be, I guess it's under construction. I don't know if it's finished yet, or I haven't seen anything about that, down in Canggu, because of the legendary Canggu shortcut, which is just a mess. And I don't know what they're going to do about the problems in Ubud. Okay, now let's go on to a viral video of two young tourists, two female tourists, who are in a taxi with a driver, an Indonesian driver, and having an argument about the price to pay. And it got quite heated. Viral threatens tourists using knives. Okay, viral threatens tourists using knives. Well, that's terrible. Okay, a video of a driver threatening some tourists. He had a sharp knife and also took some swings at them. Well, that went viral, and people are upset, including Nilu Jelatic, right, who is running for office next month and is ramping up her, let me know if there's problems here and I will facilitate some solutions. So the taxi driver, I guess after this went viral, he headed out to Jakarta and he was apprehended at Juanda Airport in East Java, in Surabaya, as he was about to flee to NTT, and he was arrested just 2 days ago on Thursday. Knowing about the viral video, the Bali Police Criminal Investigation Directorate, the Pasar Police and Badung Police conducted an investigation. They discovered that he had fled to East Java, and they coordinated with the East Javanese police and also with the airport security at Juanda, and they were able to apprehend him. The airport security apparently apprehended him and turned him over to the police, and he is on his way back to Bali if he's not already here. The alleged perpetrator is subject to Article 368 of the Criminal Code concerning extortion, Article 369 concerning threats, and Article 2, Paragraph 1 of Emergency Law Number 1251, namely carrying a sharp weapon with the threat of a 10-year sentence. There are a few obstacles in handling the case because the victims have not yet filed a police report, and the police hope that they will make a report in order to make it easier to extract information in the legal process. If you look at the video, the motive is there because there was no agreement on payment, and so this needs to be investigated further according to the police. In the video, the driver from North Central Timor was arguing with the tourist about the fare, and a quarrel occurred in the taxi that was going from Kubutambahan. The passengers were only willing to pay 50,000 rupiahs, and the driver wanted 50 US dollars. Apparently, there was no understanding on a fee at the start. The video cuts in or starts when the tourists are arguing with the driver and telling him, we want to get out, let us out, and we're not going to pay you that. No, I want $50. And they said, we'll give you 50,000 rupees. And this went on, and they threatened to call the police. And they said, take us to the police. They said, we'll call the U.S. Embassy. And he said, no, you're not doing any of that. And they said, you're not even taking us to where we want to go. Just let us out. And he took a swing, kind of came back, took a swing at them. And then they said, here. And this is all the money we've got. And they gave him a bunch of money, at which point he let them out. And so that is basically the video. And you can find this anywhere online if you look at any Bali forums, or just put in a search, and you'll find the video. It's pretty heated. The girls are upset. They want out, and he is not being very accommodating. So follow up on this and see what happens once they find the young women, I hope, and they file a police report to make this easier to process. Okay, let's get on to some more tourist information. As you know, I talked about prices going up in 2024. Here's some more. Entrance tickets to Karangasem tourist attractions will increase. Some will increase by up to 50%. These include Tirtaganga and Taman Sukasada, both in Karangasem. Entrance tickets to Tirtaganga for domestic tourists in the adult category have gone up. This is as of January 1st, 25,000 to 35,000. For children 5 to 12 years old, entrance tickets are going up from 15,000 to 25,000. For foreigners, the tickets will increase from 50,000 to 70,000, and for children, up to 35,000. Meanwhile, entrance tickets to Sukasada Park for domestic adults has gone up from 25,000 to 35,000, children from 15 to 25,000. For foreign tourists, it is going up, adults 75 to 100,000, and children 5 to 12 years old up to 75,000. Tirtaganga Park Manager, Pak Anakagung Made, said the ticket prices will increase as of January 1st. Okay, they've already gone up. This is related to the entertainment tax levy of around 10% that is being issued by the Karangasem regional government. Previously, Tirtaganga Park had not been taxed by the local government, and this is only happening as of January 24. So, because the local government is increasing, ticket prices are going to be increased as well to make up for that. According to Pak Made, so far, no tourists have complained about the increase in ticket prices. However, he said, several freelance guides and travel agents have asked about the increase in ticket prices, and the management has explained to them that as of January 2024, the tourism industry will be subject to a 10% entertainment tax by the district government, and the agents apparently understand this now. The head of the Karangasem Regional Financial and Asset Management Agency admitted that tax collection on certain goods and services will take effect in Karangasem as of January 2024. This is implemented to increase regional income in the tourism sector, considering that the number of tourist attractions in Karangasem is quite good. All tourist attractions, including natural tourism, historical, heritage, water tourism, maritime tourism, and others, are all subject to this 10% tax per person. This includes Tertaganga Park, Ujung, Lempunyang, snorkeling, diving, and others. And according to a local authority, he hopes that this breakthrough will increase money from the tourism sector dramatically. How about bullies behaving badly? Well, here's one. Perverted Caucasian couple in Bali club. Sandiaga requests CCTV. What about these perverted Caucasians? What are they doing? They're suspected of having an affair at a nightclub. On last Friday, the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy, Sandiaga, responded to this and said that tourism actors need to socialize the existence of CCTV in clubs. In other words, you need to have CCTVs in the clubs to monitor the behavior of tourists and also to let them know that there's CCTV so that they behave. Sandiaga said tourism in Bali is tourism that is dignified, based on culture and local wisdom, and nightclubs and beach clubs and lots of partying. He said, we must socialize this massively. This is the advantage of our tourism. The head of the Bali Tourism Department, Pak Pamayan, again said that his party had anticipated strange behavior from tourists, and so they made the list of do's and don'ts for foreigners. I don't know if any foreigners actually got the do's and don'ts. I did see some posted, big signs, but are they giving them out at the airport? They weren't when this first happened, when these first came out and they said they were giving them at the airport, and it didn't seem that was happening. Maybe they have started giving them at the airport. If you have just arrived here or know somebody that has just arrived here, are they getting a list of do's and don'ts? Like, don't have sex in public. Well, that's a tough one to figure out. Not only the do's and don'ts, but they've also got the tourism police, and they're supposed to keep the tourist in line. Pak Pamayan said, we want to resolve problems in tourism in a soft way, not in a hard way. And so he said problems like this can be resolved well. Meanwhile, the head of Criminal Investigation Unit for Denpasar Police has received a report about a Caucasian couple suspected of committing a lewd act. He said, we've received a report from the beach club. It doesn't say which beach club. Currently, the police have asked for information from a number of witnesses, such as club employees. In the video that's circulating on social media, you can see a Caucasian man wearing a black t-shirt and shorts. Meanwhile, a female partner is carrying a small bag and is seen squatting and facing the man. Let your imagination figure out the rest. The lovebirds were just busy doing naughty things and didn't pay attention to the visitors passing by. No visitors rebuked the couple. Wow. Okay, so if you're at a club and you're walking by and two people are going at it, are you going to say anything to them like, hey, get a room? Or are you just going to let them go and let the chips fall where they may? I don't know. Well. So what can you say? I don't know. I think they were drunk or a little high. I don't know. What do you have to be to do sex in public in a club? That's pretty extreme. And here is a cool story that I like. A local protest. What are they protesting? They're protesting not repairing a road that they need. 15 years after the road was badly damaged, Kubutambahan residents planted additional banana trees. Residents in the Kubutambahan district planted banana trees in the middle of a local road a few days ago. This action was a form of protest to the Bulalang Regency government because for dozens of years, well, I don't think dozens, for a dozen years or so, the road, which is the status of a Regency road, has never been repaired. One of the residents said that the road linking three villages has been damaged for the last 15 years. It was reported in 2016, but they repaired it independently, but it suffered serious damage again, and it's now filled with potholes. And during the rainy season, these potholes fill up with water. People don't know that there's potholes there, and bang, they fall. You know how that is. I've had it happen to me. The damage is about 100 meters. A road that's damaged is about 100 meters long. And so The residents have asked a number of times to have the road fixed, and they have not gotten a response. And so they're going to plant banana trees in the middle of the road and see if that's going to help get them some attention. Well, it made the press, so maybe it will get some attention from the Bulang government and from our acting regent. According to a local authority, the damaged road is very vital and vehicle traffic on the road is quite heavy because in that area there is the Bulang Regional Drinking Water Service Office. And the status of the road is a district road. If it was a village road, he said, we would have had it repaired a long time ago. But it is a district road. They have to repair it. And we hope that this will get them to here immediately to fix the road. And let's hope so before we really get a lot of rain and that road becomes even more dangerous than it already is. But I like the creative way they went about protesting here. Okay, that is it for today. A lot of other stuff. You may have seen that Bali showed up on a list of some travel group as being one of the worst airports in the world. And, well, responses from the local authorities here were just because they say it's bad doesn't mean it's bad. And, well, maybe it's the traffic or maybe it's the weather. I don't know. But, hey, it doesn't make any difference how it looks. It's really, is it safe and secure? Okay, so I don't know. I haven't been to the airport in 5 years. And so I can't say what it looks like now. But when I was back and forth from the year 2016 to 2018, I was at the airport a lot during those 3 years. And the airport was nice. It was nicer than it had been in the past. I enjoyed it. Didn't have any problems. There were some lines at immigration and customs as always, but nothing terrible. But that varies depending on when you come in, of course, and when you're leaving. But I don't know. So if you've been to the airport recently, is Bali's airport that terrible? I don't know. Leave a comment below. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe. Have a great new year. And I'll see you next time.